Instead of glorifying the movement, they got to glorify each moment. Because what people also fail to recognize is once they are starting the journey of discipline and stop paper chasing, stop people chasing, and they start chasing their purpose, they're winning because they're investing in who they're yet to become.
Hi, I'm Yvana, and welcome back to Aspire Higher with Charles and Yvana Bailey. If you have not done this, we need your help, okay?
Oh, yes.
Go onto YouTube right now and click subscribe, or wherever you're listening, click that button, subscribe, follow, like.
Hit subscribe.
Why is it important?
Well, we love getting the text messages and calls from you, and it's amazing. You know, so many people every week, we watched it. That really changed my life. We're like, did you subscribe? I didn't even know I had to subscribe.
But why do people need to subscribe?
One, because it allows you to know that we actually produce other shows. So whenever they come out, you'll be notified, as opposed to asking us, hey, when does the next show come out? And also it helps us because we have producers. We have a production team. We have people that are looking at stats and things of that nature. And of course, it also helps us as we're trying to grow in the markets that we serve.
That makes sense.
So we need you to support. That is literally like your vote. That's how you cast your vote on a podcast or a YouTube channel. So subscribe, do it now, right now. We just said it. So while you're watching this, you can hit that red button, or while you're listening, just hit that. I think it's green on Spotify and other places, wherever you are, hit subscribe.
Yes. And we thank you in advance for your support.
We appreciate you. We love you guys.
Today, we're super excited because we're going to be talking about something interesting, the chase, and specifically people chasing,
paper chasing,
or
and purpose
chasing.
Yeah.
What are you chasing?
But before that, I mean, first of all, I got to tell you, for those of you that are watching, you probably can't see it, but my wife has these, what they call cat eye nails.
The cat eye nails. I did something out of the box. I'm usually a very professional nudes when it comes to nails and ombre. But I tried the cat eye trend, and it's actually so fun because it's a magnet that actually makes the design on the nails, creating that sparkle.
They move.
I tried it.
It's the craziest thing.
Thanks for taking notice.
If you're driving and you can't see it, just imagine a bowling ball or the old school candy paint that used to drip on the old, the drop top cars and all this stuff. Anyway, that's what her nails look like. It's pretty impressive.
Cool.
I said she looks like the Atomic Man. And when I was a kid, I used to love watching Superman movies. And I'll never forget the one that was like the most frustrating for me to watch was when he had to fight Atomic Man. He had the powerful nails. So if any of you guys are 80s babies or 90s babies, that's kind of what they look like. But yes, back to what we were talking about at hand. Yes. Are you paper chasing?
People chasing.
Or are you purpose chasing, right? Because there is a difference.
Yeah.
I guess the thing I want to say is, for me, when I started, and I've said this before, I used to define my life, and I think it's common for men. We try to define ourselves by what's in our bank, right? We see that number with the dollar sign as a scorecard of sorts. You know, there are a lot of terrible people with those dollar signs, but they have this huge scorecard, so they feel like they're amazing. And sometimes they get, beside themselves, thinking that because they're doing well financially, that they're doing well relationally or spiritually or mentally, heck, even emotionally.
That's right.
Mental health. There are a lot of people who are struggling with some real mental health issues that have all the money in the world but can't find peace.
Yes.
So that's why we wanted to talk about that, because it's very important in all the categories and all the reasons why you don't want that to be the focus. Right?
Right. And also, let's talk about even the people chasing.
Yeah.
It seems like, especially from the pandemic, a lot of people have positioned themselves with courses, ebooks, like make it tangible, make a product tangible for those to actually reach it and take a hold of it and learn from it, right? But here's the thing. I've noticed that a lot of people aren't taking their resources, honing those resources, learning, maturing through those resources without going to the next conference, the next retreat, the next mentor, the next coach. I am a fan of all of them.
Absolutely.
Matter of fact, we speak at a lot of them.
Push people
and the
to
thing
do
about it is that when you have a coach, listen to what your coach says, apply it, do the homework, and grow.
Yeah.
Don't jump in and out. Okay, now I need another coach. Now I need another. Take your time.
And actually implement what you've got.
Implement your tools. That is such a major thing. I've had to correct a lot of clients with the fact that they're like, okay, so I've learned this. Now on to the next conference. Now the money making conference,
Yeah, and they're like, I can't see why my life isn't changing.
And I'm thinking you'd make more money just studying. You'd make more money in trying to learn your business, trying to also understand what resources you have, who you need to let go of, who you need to hire, and just be at peace in that moment. I think the chasing aspect of our culture is so fast.
Yes, too fast.
That many lose sight of who they are, who they're becoming, and who they need to be in that moment.
Without a shadow of doubt, and who they need to be, period.
Correct.
Absolutely. And so I guess I will say it this way. I was listening to someone, no, actually it was a conversation I was having with another speaker. He's internationally known, big deal guy, right? And you probably remember that. You saw we were on the call actually, and he was talking about if you're in it for the money, then you might as well stop, right? You know, a lot of people don't understand that.
That's right.
They don't want to admit that they're in it for the money, first of all. Some people don't. And there's some people who are just solely in it for the money, so they don't care if the product is good or not.
That's
like you just said about these courses. Sometimes people produce these courses, and the people that watch them didn't get any better at all. They didn't get any information from it at all that they can implement or use. But one of the things too is he was saying you might as well stop because you're not chasing after a purpose. And then I remember saying to him, I said, that's right, because if you find your true purpose, the money will follow.
Every time.
So you have to decide, do you want to make an impact or is it only about income?
But you know how many people don't define that goal first?
Sure.
And
well, it's hard.
If they defined it at first, it always starts to get confusing when you have outer voices, outside resources, that you're not just focusing on one thing. Focus on that one thing. It's like a craft. Focus on your trade. Focus on your craft and work that. That is the most important thing, I think, for many people to grab a hold of and can tangibly walk away with right now. If you just walk away with one thing, just take your time and focus on what needs to be done for you, your business right now.
Right. And we have a lot of athletes that listen to us, right? We have professional athletes that write us often talking about the impact that what they're hearing has made when they listen to it. But one of the things is these athletes have millions of dollars in a literal sense.
It's true.
And sometimes they come to us and they're asking us, but I don't know what to do with this. Or I don't know, like, what is it? Like, I got this, but I still feel valueless. I still feel worthless, or I still feel empty. I'm not fulfilled
about the money.
Because it's never been about the money.
That's right.
And I love listening to people who are ultra wealthy, not to say that we're trying to make this all about this, but the first point, obviously, about the paper chasing is you'll see a lot of wealthy people and they'll tell you, you know, once you reach $1 million, then you start thinking, I want 10 million. And once you reach 10 million, you're thinking,
never
I got
enough.
It's
That's
never
right.
enough.
That's right. It's meant to be
because
like
there's no fulfillment in acquiring it. But then when you see them start to find out, what can I start doing with this?
That's right.
Who can I impact?
That's right.
You start seeing the billionaires literally writing a check, paying all the debts off for all the students in a particular class. And those people get overjoyed because the money is not the issue. They can get more. But it's very difficult to get to a point where you're saying, I'm choosing to make an impact, and then I will use the money I have to create even more impact. Like we decided, whenever we increase, we've always said we want to increase our platform so we can create other platforms for other people to propel into their purpose.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
That's why we're talking like this. We're always trying to give away who we are and push people into who they must be.
That's right. And I think the hardest part, whether the athlete, entrepreneur, parent, business person, whatever they are. I think the hardest thing is trying to navigate the space of, okay, I'm pursuing something, but I don't know who I am. That's the hardest thing is when you're an athlete that, let's take your example. You have the athlete with all the money that doesn't know what to do next, right? Well, their purpose is always whispering what they need to do.
Of course. And it never will
We believe that
stop
purpose is a
whispering.
continuum. Purpose is always with you, no matter the job, losing a job, furloughed, it's always going to be with you. You just need to quiet yourself. And you need to understand that coaching is available. We guide people through purpose periodization, which is our trademark. It's our baby. And it's so beautiful because we've guided so many lives to understand what they're supposed to do in the season that they're in the position that they hold.
That's right.
And also what to do and leave legacy behind. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful things to know who you are and to help guide people into that.
Yeah.
So then that way, as a byproduct, they can begin blessing people with money, right? They can begin taking their status, their stature, and then also positioning their platforms for the ultimate purpose.
That's right. And it's funny because we're not just talking about like 501c3 and you can champion a cause, you can do a lot of things, but I know we spoke a lot about athletes, but even the business leader, right? Because the business leader sometimes gets stuck in the fact that they have a position. You mentioned that. And so they're defining their purpose by their position.
Right.
Positions aren't purpose.
Right. That's right.
They're literally just platforms.
That's right.
So you can take your purpose once you know what it is and inject it into any platform. So that means it doesn't matter if you're running this company or if your season ends in that company or that seat. You can move up, but you know for a fact that you're there to do X, Y, and Z through the role that you are currently holding, because positions change.
So in a sense, would it be like championing?
Yep.
The position.
That's 100%. And that's what a champion's mindset is. It's not just about winning.
Right. And we're in a win-lose culture.
Yeah. But you have to dictate in your life that you don't have to subscribe to.
Yeah.
Speaking of subscribe, we told you, hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I say that. But sincerely, you don't have to subscribe to everything that culture presents to you. That's where people get in trouble.
Of course.
Because they're not living by their own measures of success. So what's left? You have to paper chase or people chase.
That's right.
Now, going back to that point, you said something, and I really want to make sure we stress it because I don't want to skip over it. There's a scripture I love, it's a life scripture, and it talks about people with itching ears, looking for teachers everywhere. All these different voices telling you what you should do, who you should be. And the problem we have with that is you can go dive through 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 different people and their opinions and lose yourself because you become swallowed by the thoughts and perspectives and opinions of other people.
That's right.
You would do much better to find one person that you truly connect with, maximize what they have given you, or if they're inspiring you, do it. Put it into action. Don't move on to anyone else.
Right.
That's one of the things, even with church, even with spiritual things, I try my best to eliminate voices. Yeah. That has been a secret to my life. You've seen this. Yeah. Even if it's on Instagram, we coach our clients to do this. You look at your following count and then you have 5,000 people that you're following. Right. That's 5,000 people that are giving you insight and things. You can't use all of it. Your brain is not made to take in all of those messages. Yeah. So eliminate them.
Right.
And find the one that really speaks to you and resonates with you. And then like Napoleon Hill or Bob Proctor or other leaders in the self-help space talk about, do what they say to the T. Yeah. Because you're not mastering anything if you're going from person to person to person to person to person.
Master of none.
Because you look back and you're like, I haven't gotten any better.
Yeah. Yeah. And that speaks to so many people.
That's everyone.
And it's
including ourselves. It is disappointing.
And depressing.
Well, it can be, but that's what it leads to.
So many of your resources trying to be something, trying to get the money, get whatever, and walked away just empty because you haven't taken the time for yourself to just learn that skill, learn what they asked you as a coach, learn whatever, and just stick with it.
Yep.
Don't chase the next and the next and the next and the next. It's like beating the wind.
And some people are too impatient.
Of course.
Give things time.
Listen, patience is hard for anyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Patience is hard.
What we're saying is also about like hustle culture.
Of course.
I'm grateful to see that hustle culture is starting to die down.
Right.
We're not saying that you shouldn't have the mentality that you got to do whatever it takes to get yourself to the level that you really believe that you're going to be on. Right. But the problem is there was a season of time, a period of about 10 years or so, maybe roughly, where people were all about every little thing. I have multiple streams. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing. And we get that. We do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But what we've gotten good at is backing ourselves out of things that we don't have to be present to do.
That is so true.
And still allow the thing to automate or run or people to actually take advantage of what we offer. Mm-hmm. Even platforms like this. Yeah. This allows people to grow and they find us, they connect with us, and then we're able to help them because they're like, yo, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
So that's the point. But I want to say this because it's not always about chasing the next thing. And we have to be patient and grow.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
That's what,
we have to give ourselves time.
Like the seed.
Seed, man.
The seed.
Or training.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And training, as we know, coming from the athletic world, is hard work.
Grind.
It is
for years.
Discipline. And it's interesting how many people want the result without being disciplined.
Come on, man. You said a mouthful.
It's true. And I've actually learned to really love and value discipline, as hard as it is to be diligent to it. But I've seen nothing but fruit come from it, nothing but great results. And some things take, obviously, time to grow. And the thing that people despise the most is knowing that, okay, I put all this time in, I put all this money in, I put all these resources in, but I don't see the fruit yet. Right. But they forgot underneath the topsoil, that seed is still germinating. It's still taking root. It's still growing. So give it a moment.
Absolutely.
Give it a beat.
Yeah, give it a beat.
Give it a beat.
And instead of glorifying the movement, they got to glorify each moment.
Right. That's right.
Because what people also fail to recognize is once they are starting the journey of discipline and stop paper chasing, stop people chasing, and they start chasing their purpose, they're winning because they're investing in who they're yet to become.
Right. Right.
We never give ourselves enough credit to say, I am already better than I was just yesterday.
Correct.
And I remember someone telling me, would you rather 100% increase today or 1% increase every day for the rest of your life?
1%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you'll 10x.
1%. Exactly.
You will 10x that 100%.
It's exponential growth.
And it is exponential, but it's incremental.
Right. That's true.
And so we have to remember that. So the one thing I love about purpose is that's what purpose will do.
Right.
Purpose will, if you really, really want to live in purpose, it will challenge you.
Of course. Listen. Purpose will not only challenge you, but it will also protect.
It will protect
and guard you.
That's right, man. There's a life scripture. I think it was Proverbs 2. Was it 11?
2:11. Yes.
Man, listen to me. That's one of my favorite scriptures.
Why?
Because what people don't recognize, first of all, about scriptures is that there's more meaning to what's at face value.
Of course.
I do a lot of word study. So I try to break down what was really behind the message, right?
Exactly.
And it says, there's one part where it says that prudence will guard you.
Okay.
So most people will see that, oh, prudence. Okay. Yeah. No, go back and look at what it means in the original language. The word that is used for that word is purpose. When you are walking in purpose, it will guard you, it will keep you, it will protect you.
Correct.
So while you're growing, you don't have to worry about the things that are coming in to destroy where you're going, what you want to be, who you're going to become, because you're focused on your purpose.
That's right.
My whole life, I'm focused on my purpose. Yeah. I'm focused on my purpose. And you keep doing that and you look back and you'll be so amazed. You won't even know that you had the impact that you had.
That's true.
And then you won't even recognize yourself when you're sitting in the seat that was always meant for you.
Yeah, that's so true. And it actually brings home something to me.
Yeah, sure.
When I was in my journey, 2016, I had a sports therapist, but a mental therapist. And she has seen my life evolve into where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Veronica, man. You were a blessing to both of us.
Yes, she has seen the transformation. She saw the seed. And I think she also saw the tree that I would become.
Absolutely.
And she really watered it. It took time. For those that understand therapy, for those that understand mental health, things take time. Yes. It is not immediate. And I was willing to go through that time with her. And as I started chasing things and dreams and things I wanted to hold so tightly onto, she really helped me to understand, well, what is your life when this ends? You tell that to an athlete, they will break down. A lot of them will break down.
Because what do you mean?
Like, why are you challenging my notion, my core, my value, my ethic? Why are you challenging it
now?
Why? And when she challenged me in 2016, which was an Olympic year, it shaped my whole world.
Yeah.
It caused me to look at, athletics is beautiful, but my purpose, it has to be something bigger.
So much bigger.
What is my cause? What do I need to do? What do I fight for? What is burning on the inside of me, And when I started to take time to discover those things, my life, it has shifted onto many platforms and many skills and talents, abilities, and then also helped me to reach back and grab other athletes and pull them forward with the same thing and helping them propel their lives forward. So if that encouraged you, I hope that you hear, I am a woman that went through the process. I am also a woman who understood that I needed help. I needed external help to guide me and coach me within that season that I was in. And then I was willing to stay in that moment to grow. It hurt.
And you let her challenge you.
Oh my gosh. And that's why, even with our clients, challenging someone is one of the most beautiful things.
It is the
in
most
the context of them being uplifting, being encouraging.
Right.
You have to know and align yourself with the right coach.
The right
Not everybody
coach can't just be with anyone. That's right.
Exactly. Be very cautious with that.
And there's so much damage that can be done.
That's right.
With the wrong coach, and that's what's happening. And we have athletes and people that have come to us, but they've had experiences with other coaches.
Oh yeah, of course.
And they hurt them, misled them, led them further away from their purpose than they would have just experimenting with life.
And if it led them further away from their purpose, then how could their purpose guard them and protect them?
Of course. And that's the trick.
Exactly.
But I will say this, you said something amazing. So I want to applaud you again because I remember watching you go through that. So amazing job. Fantastic. The fact that you were so disciplined to do that. And also it taught me a lot because I had to go through the work on the backside with you.
True.
So I had to grow as well.
That's right.
Because you were maturing in a way that I had to learn from as well. But the thing that I want to make sure I highlight there is that when you're shifting from people chasing or paper chasing to purpose chasing, it will always come with that challenge. And it is scary.
Yeah.
It is, you will literally ask yourself, what the heck am I doing? Because it's not normal.
Yeah.
Anything that creates change will shift your perspective.
Absolutely.
And when you're changing your normalcy, your homeostasis, what you thought was living.
Absolutely.
Before you get to the point of recognizing that it wasn't ever living,
right?
It's scary. It's like we watched this show. All right, it's an incredible show. What's it called? The Parent Test.
Yes,
The Parent Test. Incredible show. If you haven't watched that show,
on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Yeah, you'll love it. But there are these different parents, and they have different ways that they raise their children, different styles. So they're comparing styles and seeing if there's one, not necessarily saying better than the other, but what's the most effective.
What works, exactly.
And I remember there was a test where they had to encourage their children to jump off with a high dive, which is hilarious to me because I went through this as a child. And so you see these parents trying different things. Some would bribe, some would try to use, their influence. Some would just be demanding, you're gonna do this. But the point of the matter is that's how purpose is.
Yeah.
It's not going to say, okay, well, we'll slowly and gradually kind of get you prepared for the deep end. It's like, no, deep end now, because we don't have time to waste. And so you're immediately feeling like, I'm out here, I don't know if I can do this.
Right.
And it's like, yes, you can.
Right.
So one of the things I wanted to bring out is because it's almost like purpose is saying, trust me, because you're in a moment where you're terrified, but you're taken care of.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
You're scared, but you're still secure.
True.
Because your parents are there. Daddy's there.
Right.
Mommy's there.
Right.
You can't drown with me being here.
That's right. That's right. You have the support.
But you have to jump on your own.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, man, that's one of the craziest thoughts.
Yeah.
Because when I was a young boy, I remember going to the natatorium, the public pool, and I never forget climbing all the way up to the top. We even talk about this in our book. And I was so confident on my way, but when I got to the top of that thing, I'm like, how did the pool literally grow another 30 feet deep? It looked like I was jumping off of a skyscraper. And of course I had this annoying, have you ever had this experience before? Did you do a high dive ever?
I did. I saw the high dive and then I saw the other route to go home. And I went home.
She said I left. I was surprised you went home.
I went home. Well, it was a field trip, and it was like, oh, that's the high dive. It was
you're lucky
cool.
Because for me, where we were, the rule was, and the what do you call them, the lifeguard? They would blow the whistle. You couldn't go down because it's more dangerous for you to go down the ladder and the rail than it is to jump into the deep end or to the water. Come on. Do you see the wisdom in that?
Absolutely.
That's why purpose does it that way.
Yes.
Because you can hurt yourself trying to back out of your purpose.
That's true.
And it will only lead to disappointment.
Yeah.
It could lead to a slip and fall, a trip.
Yeah.
You can lose something. Yeah. You could lose your life.
You can trip other people up.
Do you understand?
It's true. Yeah.
But look at what happens when you chase your purpose. You jump off the high dive and what happens? It always happens. Every pool. What happens? Just guess. Make up something. What usually happens when one kid jumps off?
They get excited.
And what happens to other kids?
They follow.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Leadership.
And
absolutely.
that's the point.
Yes.
If you chase and pursue your purpose, you will literally lead the way for others who didn't know that it was possible.
It's very true. I remember a lot of the times we need to have a mirror. It's like a mirror effect. You need to see someone else do it before you try it. You need to see someone else succeed at it before you say to yourself in your core belief, I can do the same. There are multiple, I'll speak to women, there are multiple women that need to see their face in the room to believe they belong in the room. Multiple cultures feel that way. The Indian culture, the Caribbean culture,
African-American culture.
You knew I was going to talk about
well,
that.
I'm just keeping
the
it real.
African-American culture, the Hispanic culture. There's Asian culture,
any other culture.
Many cultures, right? As long as you're alive, you're part of the culture, your culture, right? Whatever your culture is, many times.
Even cheese is a culture.
Many times it feels like it's like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
It's a comfort to see someone that looks like you, that has done something like you, that has been successful in it, for you to even believe in yourself. You know what? I can do it too. The little girl that dreams to be Miss Universe sees the woman on the platform and says, I want to be like her. Boom. The young athlete that says, oh my gosh, I need to be that baseball player, that soccer athlete. I pursue my purpose and I want it to look just like them. But what happens when you chase your own ambition of fear and run far from your purpose? What happens to the people that are looking to aspire to be like you?
And that's what people forget.
They forget that all the time.
You're not doing it for you.
I didn't even know that some of the choices I made in my own life to do it afraid on the platforms that I've done it on literally opened doors for other people. Yes. And when they walked through the door, they said, had you not done it, I would never have auditioned. I would never have tried. I would never have filled out that application. And it really hit me like, every decision I make could be attached to someone else.
In fact,
and their decision. It is attached
to someone else's destiny.
Jeez.
So why not be the person that chases purpose? So what we'll say before we close, 3 things that you could take away. First thing, of course, yes, we understand everyone has needs. Yes, you got to work. You need to earn. We're not saying that you can pay everything with just purpose, but try to see your bigger purpose, why you're where you are, and the impact that you're meant to make while you're earning your money. And trust me, you'll grow, you'll be promoted, other things will happen in your life. Absolutely. The other thing is, remember that your decisions today, once you chase purpose, you're literally blazing trails for other people who are going to do what you do, but you want them to see you in such a way that will help them to be better, because it's all about leaving things better than the way we've gotten them. And then the third thing I would say is jump. Jump.
Absolutely.
Trust.
Yes.
Go for it with all that you are, and know that your purpose will protect you. You're not going to be by yourself. You're not going to be alone. You know that we're people of faith. So we also believe that God's got you. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully there's someone that you know that would love to listen to this podcast. Right. I'm going to say it again. Will you hit that subscribe button right now? All right.
Follow us.
We need your support, but we also want to make sure that you don't miss any notifications.
And if you need help, sometimes we say it's easier said than done. Okay, let me walk in my purpose and then that's it. But if you need help defining your purpose, go on our website, aspirehigherlife.com, and please fill out the form and say, I need help determining my purpose. You write that, we are here for you. And we would love to help guide you through that. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in again. We'll see you next week.